Good evening. Britain has been lashed by heavy rain and gale-force winds that reached almost 100 miles an hour. Storm Ciara has caused huge problems to the country's transport networks and electricity supplies. More than 500,000 homes were without power for at least part of the day. And although the worst of the weather has passed, it's left behind a trail of destruction. Among the deluged areas are villages in the Calder Valley, which have been flooded for the second time in 5 years. From there, Neil Connery sent this report.
Storm Ciara's arrival lived up to the forecasters' warnings. In Yorkshire, the rising waters left residents in a desperate race to protect their homes.
So what we're doing is just trying to protect as best we can. As you can see, it's fairly horrendous.
Sirens sounded to alert those living near the riverbanks of the impending floods.
If it actually comes over that wall, I dread to think what the situation's going to be like. But yeah, I'm stressed.
In between the bands of severe weather, the vast volume of water spilled out wherever it could. Fire and rescue crews did what they could in the face of the powerful storm.
I can sum it up in one word: grim. And that's through the whole of the valley.
Ciara's impact on transport was felt far and wide. At Heathrow, pilots contended with extreme winds. Not every attempt to land first time proved successful.
Missed approach. Didn't like that. He didn't like that.
On the railways, some lines were blocked by debris like this trampoline. With speed restrictions in place, it was a challenging day for travellers.
We are limited to 50 miles an hour today because of the storm.
In Hastings, this lifeboat crew battled severe gales as they went to rescue a surfer. Thankfully, despite the conditions, the crew and the surfer all returned safely.
Good.
In Hoyk on the Scottish borders, this swollen river spelt disaster for this cafe. In North Wales, flooding brought misery for motorists and residents. Business owners said they'd never seen anything like it.
Within an hour, it was 4.5 foot deep. Literally couldn't get through to the back room because the kitchen had come off the wall, the fridge freezer had fallen down over the door.
The forecasters had predicted that Storm Ciara would pack a punch, and for much of the country, that's been borne out. Here in West Yorkshire, the cost and impact of the floods has been devastating.
I've saved my sofa, that's all. All ornaments, plants, pets are all upstairs.
Tonight, Rachel Hayes is one of those here counting the cost after her home was flooded.
This is terrible. This is going to take months to sort out, and this is going to affect a lot of people on this road.
In the deserted streets nearby, Storm Ciara's worst may have moved on, but her impact is just sinking in.
Good afternoon, I'm Duncan Golostani. Storm Ciara has been causing disruption across the capital, with transport severely affected. Many trains in and out of London have been cancelled as Network Rail imposed speed limits and warned people not to travel. For a while, Euston had to be closed because of overcrowding. Airlines have been cancelling flights too. Will Davies has the latest.
A crane collapsed outside Stanmore Tube Station, trees blocking buses in Victoria, branches on the line and a trampoline too. No one is getting anywhere fast today.
We are limited to 50 miles an hour today because of the storm.
Charing Cross station empty with warnings about the weather, but Euston completely full. So busy in fact it had to be closed for periods throughout the day. Storm Ciara is wreaking havoc on anyone getting around London today, and those that have left home will have found all the royal parks shut. Falling branches at Regent's Park in evidence, and at St James's Park even the police finding it hard to stay upright. In fact, the only thing not moving in the sky, the London Eye, closed because of the high winds. Earlier, a 10k race through the capital was cancelled, though a few brave runners decided the exercise worth the risk from the storm.
Everyone else has done their charity work, their training through the winter, so you can just see on social media the sentiment. I think everyone's understanding, but equally they've been doing runs just to keep the money coming in for the Cancer Research UK charity as well. But it is disappointing.
The worst of the weather coming down just as the race had been due to finish. The shops on Oxford Street are still open despite this driving rain. But the question for the shoppers here is, how are they going to get home? There's travel disruption all across the capital.
We're trapped here because the trains are all ruined, so we thought we might as well go shopping all day.
It's his birthday weekend, so we decided to come to London, and we didn't want the weather to ruin it.
We're British.
We were here just for yesterday, weren't we? Visiting our son. Trains are cancelled, Grand Central, so thank you, an extra night down in London for me.
How are you going to get home?
Good question. Delayed train, so that's going to be an effort.
The British spirit undimmed by the pouring rain. Weather warnings do remain in place though throughout the evening, and if you are planning on going anywhere, best check you can get there and back before you do. Will Davies, ITV News.
Good evening. It's been an awful start to a new week, with the worst storm to push across the whole of the UK for over 7 years. Storm Ciara is starting to ease, but it left major disruption, damaging gusts of winds, flooding rains and significant disruption to power and transport right across the country. It is starting to move its way steadily south and east into the near continent, taking damaging gusts of winds and rain at southeast as well. Behind it, though, somewhat noticeable difference to the feel of the weather as we see cool air pushing down from the northwest. The winds will remain a feature as well, and that's going to continue to drive in frequent showers, particularly across exposed west-facing coast, but many further inland. Some of them falling as snow. Icy stretches could be an issue in Scotland, with temperatures close to freezing by dawn on Monday. So a treacherous commute here, and it does look as though we'll keep plenty of isobars across the UK for the start of the new working week. A windy Monday morning for all, plenty of showers rushing in from the west, and again these will continue to be of snow above 150 metres in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. A cool feel to the afternoon, 4 to 8 degrees, and some of these showers across England and Wales heavy with hail and thunder. So it's certainly worth bearing in mind for the early part of this week. Frequent snow showers could be an issue across the northern hills. We could see some significant accumulations, and with strong winds, blizzard conditions and drifting very much a feature. That's going to be the story again on Tuesday. It's almost spot the difference. Plenty of showers, mostly of sleet and snow across the far north, and a cold feel to things as well. Further south, fewer showers around, but still those temperatures struggling, 6 or 7 degrees.